Welcome back to another mom chat. Today, we're talking about something I think almost every parent has said at some point: calm down. And listen, I'm a mom and a therapist, so yes, I've said it too. I'm guilty. But here's the question: if your child already knew how to calm down their body in the moment, wouldn't they probably be doing it? Think about it. Calm down tells your child what the end result will be. It doesn't necessarily tell them how to get there, right? Think about yourself when you're super overwhelmed. If someone just walked up to you and says, just calm down, does that just automatically make you calmer? Probably not. In some cases, it might do the opposite. Who knows? It could be the same for our kids, okay? So let's think about that. When a child is dysregulated, they may have a harder time accessing the skills we're asking them to use in the moment, okay? So instead of only focusing on stopping the behavior, I want parents to start asking, okay, how do I help my child figure out what they need? What do they need to get back in a place where they can manage this emotion, right? And the answer won't look the same for every child. One child may need movement, right? We've discussed that before. Another child may want less noise or fewer people around. Um, the next child may want a hug or some type of deep pressure. One child may say, I don't want you to touch me at all. No, no tactile input. I'm good. Some kids need connection. Other kids may need space. Some may need fewer words because us standing there giving them a 5-minute explanation while they're already overwhelmed. It's just adding more information to their brain um, for them to process that they just can't do in that moment. And, this is where co regulation comes in, okay? So, co regulation doesn't mean we fix every uncomfortable feeling for our child, but it just means that there are some situations and circumstances where we just have to provide some type of support while they're still developing the ability to do so independently. Okay. So maybe that looks like, okay, I need to just lower my tone. I need to use fewer words. I need to help my child, get to a quieter space. Um, Offering a strategy that we know already works for them, or simply staying nearby without demanding that they immediately talk about what happened can be, an example of co regulation. But here's another important piece to it: we shouldn't wait until our child is at a 10 out of 10 to introduce every regulation strategy we know. Practice these things when they're already calm and regulated. That's when we can learn together, right? What does your child's body feel like when they're starting to get frustrated? That's what you can ask them. What does your body feel like when you're starting to get frustrated? What helps? Do you want movement? Do you need some space? Would you like some deep pressure? Would that help? You can kind of be more of an investigator and help them. We're helping them like build that awareness of their own body in hopes that they'll eventually develop that toolbox on their own, right? So they'll develop those strategies in what we say a toolbox on their own. Also, I want to make something clear. Supporting co-regulation doesn't mean there are no boundaries, okay? So understanding why your child is struggling doesn't mean everything they do becomes okay. I can understand that you're overwhelmed and still tell you that, okay, listen, I know you're upset. I know you're overwhelmed, but hitting is not okay, right? I can give you space to regulate and still come back and address what happened. I can support your nervous system and maintain the expectation. Both things can be true, right? The goal isn't to raise a child who never gets upset, and it isn't to make every uncomfortable emotion disappear. The goal is to help our kids gradually become better at recognizing what's happening in their bodies, communicating what they need, and using strategies that help them work through difficult moments. That's a skill. And skills take practice. So the next time you feel calm down coming out of your throat, and trust me, I get it. Try changing the question to this instead. How do I make this behavior stop? What do I need to do, right? What do I need to help my child? What do I need to do? What does my child need right now to get to the place where they can use the skill I'm asking for? That shift can change the whole interaction. You know, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, Brooke, but I don't know. I don't know what my child needs. That's exactly where individualized support can help. If you're noticing ongoing struggles with your child as it relates to regulation, sensory processing, routines, transitions, behavior, DM me, send help. If you're just unsure where to start, okay? DM me, send help. We can talk about what's happening with your child. We can talk about what's happening. And then we can just come up with some strategies, right? We can come up and play around with strategies, and I can give you some individualized help, okay? So if that sounds like something that you need, DM me. I'll see you on the next month chat. Hope it helps.